Hey everybody, it's me. I am making for dinner tonight a Weight Watcher friendly spaghetti. But instead of pasta, I'm using spaghetti squash. So as of right now, in my oven at 375, I have got a half of a spaghetti squash that I took all the gunky gunk out of it and then pierced it real good on the outer side. And then on the inside, I drizzled just a little bit of olive oil, probably about maybe two teaspoons, probably I would say, which will be 2 points on Weight Watchers. I'm on the, I think I'm on the purple plan. I get the 23 points a week, or I mean a day. And then I just put salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, flipped it upside down, and put the sucker in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how big your butternuts or your spaghetti squash is. So that would be probably wouldn't be any points because you're not going to eat the whole half of a spaghetti squash, but I'm going to say it's 1 point because if you half up the olive oil, it's 1 point a teaspoon, so just be 1 point for the spaghetti squash, just to make it fair. For my sauce, it is actually a 0 point sauce, but I did add a little bit of olive oil in it because I use turkey, and I use the 99% fat-free turkey, and it is 0 points. I do use that, but like I said, I do use just a little bit of olive oil, probably a couple teaspoons, just so it doesn't stick all over your pan. And olive oil tastes good in the sauce too. I always make my own sauce. I never buy pasta sauce. For one, there's too much preservatives, there's too much sodium in it, and they stain your plastic container bowls. I hate that. Homemade sauce, no preservatives. You can judge how much sodium you want in it, and it doesn't stain your plastic Tupperware dishes. Oh, I love that. I hate that. Oh, gross orange stain. But this does not. So what I use is a pound of the ground turkey, the 99%, a little bit of olive oil in the skillet, not brown it, because it doesn't brown, but cook it with some chopped onions, which are 0. And then I puree it just to make it a sauce, but I use these. The red gold tomatoes are 0 points. Not all canned tomatoes are 0 points, so make sure you use your app to check, but red gold is. I use the whole tomatoes because once you puree the whole tomato, it just tastes fresher. Same way with salsa. When you buy salsa, if you throw it in the blender and you puree it, it tastes fresher. I don't know, I guess because you're cutting up the tomato. But I use one big the 22 ounce can of that, and then I use some kind of fire roasted, but this is 0 points. But I think red gold doesn't make it, but I think there's a couple other that might. But this, I like the fire roasted. Gives it just a little bit of sweetness without the sugar. 0 points as well for the whole can. So I blend those together. And then I throw 4 or 5, however much garlic you want in of the cloves, and puree that in there really good. Once your turkey's done, then I throw that tomato sauce in there. And then I'll add a little bit of garlic powder, however much salt you want. I put basil. I use dried basil in this because I didn't have any fresh. If you use fresh basil, don't put it in until your sauce is done, because if you cook fresh basil, it gets bitter. So I use dried because then you can cook it in there all day long if you want. And I did put a little bit of dried parsley and a little bit of dried oregano. Not a lot of oregano, just a little bit. You put however much of those spices that you like. You can put fennel in it if you want, or you can add turkey sausage. That, however, will give you a point. If you put one whole turkey sausage link, I think that's 1 point. So you can put that in here if you want the more of a spicier flavor, or you could just add some fennel, and it's 0 points. So I will simmer it on my stove. Let me bring this down so you can kind of see. I'll simmer it in my skillet probably for about 30-45 minutes, just until some of the water evaporates off of it. Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. And that's going to be my sauce for my spaghetti squash. And then for my husband, I will make a half a box of penne pasta, and he'll eat this as well. That we both can have pasta, but I have my 0 Point pasta, and he doesn't care, so he's not on Weight Watchers. And if you want to throw a salad with it, your 0 Point salad, that's great. Or if you want salad dressing, that's fine too. And I also have found out that if you want a healthy type dressing, if you use a quarter of an avocado and a boiled egg, or half a boiled egg, whichever, however much boiled egg you want. If you don't like boiled egg, that's fine. If you don't like avocado, that's fine. You can use one of the other, but I use both because I like them both. If you add that in to your salad and sprinkle a little bit of salt on your veggies, like the tomatoes or the cucumbers or the onions or whatever it is that you put in your salad, and then put you some garlic powder and salt and pepper, and then stir it. Literally toss and stir your salad. That avocado and that egg yolk will coat your salad, and that salt draws out the moisture, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a liquid, not liquidy, but it's kind of thick because the avocado is actually breaking down a little bit, and then your yolk as well. So it kind of coats your salad, and it makes it so good. You don't even need a salad dressing. So food for thought on that. I do like garlic bread with my spaghetti sauce, but I am going to forego the garlic bread for Weight Watchers. I am in week 2. My first week, I lost 6.8 pounds. Woohoo for me. I'm hoping, I know the first week you always lose more. Second week, probably not as much. I have done this before. This is my 3rd or 4th time on Weight Watchers. It does work. I've lost over 30 pounds on it, but I was goofy and didn't continue. But I used to be a smoker too, and now it's been 8 years since I haven't smoked, but it took me several times to quit smoking, but I did. And so I know that if I continue to do my Weight Watchers, even if I fail, because you're going to, because I did, everybody does. You just start over again when you feel motivated. You've got to be motivated. You have to want to do this. If you don't want to, it's not going to work for you. So you need to find your why, find a reason that you want to do this. Find foods that you love. Like I love pasta. When I ate this spaghetti squash for the first time, I like it better than pasta. So find things that you love and find another way of making them. And also I bought, my refrigerator is packed with everything here. I found these as well. It's called Pasta Zero Spaghetti. And this is amazing if you like mushrooms, because these are made out of shiitake mushrooms. They are so good. They have a pasta texture, but just make sure that you rinse them really, really, really good before you warm them up, because they're kind of slimy like a mushroom. So make sure you rinse them really, really good. But you can make the 0 Point sauce. You can put them with that. If I have any sauce left over, I'm going to freeze it. That way I can pull out a cup of sauce or however much sauce, because it's 0 pretty much, and put it over whatever I want. If I want to grill a chicken breast, then I can take some of this pasta sauce and I can lay right over that chicken breast to give you a little something different. And I did buy this the other day, this Cuisinart grill, and you can flip the plates, and it's a griddle as well. So I really like that, and I've used it several times. It's great for fish, vegetables, anything you could think of. So that's a little bit of stuff that I've been doing that I have found that works and helps me with Weight Watchers. Meal prep is essential. You really need to do the best you can with meal prep. I will buy 2 big old things of kale or Brussels sprouts or spinach or what have you, and I cook it all down, and I put them in little freezer bags. I mark however many points it is. Usually it's 1 point because of the olive oil. And then I'll freeze them. So at night I pull them out. It takes 5-10 minutes to thaw on the counter, if any. Warm them up. There's your aside. You can do it with, like I said, Brussels sprouts and onions. Kale and leeks are really good together. And then I'll do squash. Yellow squash and onions is good. I love onions. That's my thing. Cooked onions. But all kinds. You could do sweet potatoes. You could cube them with salt and cinnamon and bake them. Oh my gosh. They're very low points, and you could freeze them and pull out however many you want. It's really, really good. Make sure you get a weigher too. I have a real cheap little one here I got from Walmart. I've had it probably for 4 or 5 years, and it's perfect for weighing all your food. Other than that, that's about all I'm doing today. Here's that sauce. It's starting to bubble. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I like garlic, so I put lots and lots of garlic in it. Alrighty, well, that's me on a small farm in a small town with melasma and on Weight Watchers.